One thing that has really helped myself and other creators stay on focus is the 30, 60, 90-day goal plan. This is where you get the opportunity to write down small increments or goals that you want to achieve based on a 30, a 60, and 90-day challenge. In order to make this work effectively, it's always been recommended to start at the end and work your way back. So, where do you want to be in 90 days? And how are you going to get there on a 30, 60, 90-day program? In this episode, we're going to talk about just those steps, and there's also going to be a free PDF guide, which is the goal setting guide. So stay tuned. Let's roll the intro. Here at the Copy Shop, we always strive for a successful finish, okay? We always want to make sure that the steps that we take are going to benefit not only us, but our clients and prospects as well. One of the tools that I have used over many, many years, that was taught to me many, many years, is the 30, 60, 90-day goal planning setting guide. It's just a guideline for somebody, us, myself, you, and other people, to put together on paper an idea of the steps required to get you where you want to be in those 90 days. So in order to make this happen, you start at the end of the 90-day program and you work your way backwards towards the 30. So what steps are you going to take at the 30-day marker that'll lead you to, and carry over to the 60, which leads you and carries over to the 90? As an example, coming up with this video podcast idea, we started a while ago. We talked about the YouTube channel, getting that up and going and making something of this. But then it switched to this, which is a video podcast. It's an instructional, one-on-one. We didn't know how to go about putting it all together. So we went for our 30, 60, 90-day plan, and the team got together over many sessions and discussed how this was going to happen. I would show you the notebooks, but they're just chicken scratch, and only I can read that. But there's pages upon pages upon pages of notes of how this is going to happen. What are the steps that we here at the Copy Shop needed to take in order to move this forward? That was hard. It's not easy. Not easy at all. But nothing worthwhile is going to be easy to obtain. So starting with your ideas, where do you want to be in a 90-day period? Well, obviously we want to be working with clients. Obviously, we want to have some type of an income coming in from this skill set that we have called email marketing. That's a very good goal. How are you going to get there? That's the question. Now, there are ways and ideas and concepts that you can get as much information from all over the internet that'll help propel you to those 90 days to get a client, to get money coming in. That's good objective. However, without having something really, really written down so you can look at it, make adjustments as you progress, change as you progress, and even the final outcome can change as you progress. That's the overall beauty of this 30, 60, 90-day goal setting plan. Things change all the time. Now, when we thought of doing the video podcast, we use this exact same goal line. 90 days out, we're going to put everything together. Our end goal is to publish at the 90-day marker. That's our end goal. Well, how are we going to get there? All right. What type of equipment? What type of recording mechanisms do we have to have? How are we going to do it? What guidelines do we follow? How do we here as educators and instructors keep you occupied? I think we've done a pretty good job so far. We started off that 30-day mark with cameras. Okay. Then we went to lighting and fixtures and how to set up the room. Now, as you can tell by behind me, we've done a pretty good job on that. I always say we, but I'm the one that's always doing this stuff. I've been the elected official to do it. That 30-day plan moved us forward to the 60-day plan. Now, there was a lot of things on that 30-day plan that did not make it to the 60-day because we didn't need it. Options changed. Things came up that we must change. And there's always going to be other obstacles in the way. So making those changes, overcoming those obstacles, either insurmountable or small or just a little tweak in a program, can take the place of you moving forward. So we had a whole list on the 30 days of what we need to do. By the time we got to the 60-day, that 30-day list was shrunk dramatically. By the time we ended on our 60-day, moving towards our 90-day goal, that list shrunk even more. It's because of the way things happen and how they operate. Think of how you are going to implement your goal setting guide. So from this point on, right now at 90 days, we're going to say your goal right now, and it's a real good one, is going to be getting paid for working with a client. That's your 90-day goal. Everybody listening to this, that is going to be your 90-day goal. How are you going to get there? Oh, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to do this. All right, slamming and jamming DMs on Instagram is not outreach, and we know that. That's not going to get you to this goal. We already know that. We've talked about that. We've talked about the 6 ways to qualify your prospects and how to craft that DM. So you're a little bit ahead of the game there. How are you? What is going to be in that 30-day window? 30 days, the whole month. What are you going to do? What are you going to outline? How are you going to tackle? What are you going to look forward on accomplishing, on learning? Well, you better focus on persuasive writing. You have to. That's your foundation skill set right there. So for the first 30 days, we're going to focus on persuasive writing. We're going to focus on being disruptive when you write. We're going to focus on how come you're so passive when you're writing. We're going to focus on those structures. We're going to focus on the content and how the content is going to persuade the reader to our way of thinking. That should be your 30-day goal right there. Right then, right there, that should be your 30-day goal. Shouldn't be thinking of anything else. Most of that information is offered free inside the Copy Cup membership. Most of that information is there. You're going to find so many little tricks, bits of information that you can add to your content that changes it dramatically. As an example, how to butt your way into a conversation. Using the word but is a disruptive connection. You can use it in different ways. If I was a general conversation, I would say, but you don't know what you're doing. In a disruptive manner, I would say and write, but you don't know what you're doing. That's the difference between understanding context and content. Being disruptive like that. So these are going to be some of the things you're going to want to focus on during your first 30 days. You're going to focus on that. You're going to focus on your writing capability. Your 60-day marker is a little bit different. You would want to focus on how to implement what you've learned in the 30-day and how to implement it into your 60-day. Now, what are you going to do by that? What do I mean by implement? All right. Well, if you studied the content for knowing how to write for 30 days, and now you're going to look at, let's just say, a lead magnet. You're going to try to build a lead magnet for a prospect. So we already know imagery is important. We already know that it's social media bound. We already know that it has to be very persuasive and short. We know it's got to be colors. We know it's got to be, something to offer. Well, let's take our writing skills and help build that lead magnet. That's going to be your 60-day goal. Learning how to do a lead magnet. Learning how to, build a landing page persuasively. So you're going to implement persuasive writing into those aspects. Then you're going to think, okay, where do I need to go from 60 to 90? In order for me to get a paying client, what else do I have to do? You have to perfect everything. Perfect the writing, perfect the other skill sets, such as landing pages, lead magnets, maybe even working on some scripts, video scripts, reels. Anything that you can do to offer services to the prospect besides email. Email's our foundation. It's what we build upon. Thinking outside the box on that 90-day challenge to get that client, what are you going to do? How are you going to get there? Where is your 30-day list? How does that 30-day list move you forward to the 60-day list? And how does that 60-day list move you to the 90-day list to get you paid by a client? That's up to you to figure that out. You want a client in 90 days. How are you going to get there? Well, at the end of this video, look for that free PDF guide. It's going to be in the link down below. That sets you up. That tells you everything you need to know. It gives you a diagram, gives you an outline, gives you ideas, concepts, and directions. Okay, so look at that. That's one of the most important things to do. To really concentrate and to narrow down what needs to get done. We talked about how to, pre-qualify, how to put together a DM based on that template block of outreach that you put together. And we've gone over, staying positive. The 30, 60, 90-day plan is to be used over and over and over and over again as you move forward. You're always going to have changes. You're always going to be changing things back and forth. The guide is a guide. It's not etched in stone. It's to guide you along the way. Take advantage of everything that we offer, because no one else does this for you. Nobody does this for you except us here at the Copy Shop. When we succeed, when you succeed. So let's get some success rolling in here. Let's work on that 90-day plan. Leave some comments below. Tell us what you got going on. Let us know what direction you're wanting to head. Let us know the direction you're wanting to go to. We can all work together on this. Don't forget, download that PDF.